Welcome, 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 welcome. Of course, it is Rankins Uncut. Myself, Jonah Woolard, and my partner in crime, Clayton Guillory. Clay, can you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Hey,
you
man,
know what time it is,
you
my
can definitely
man.
smell it.
As we get closer to these
exactly.
national championship vibes, Clay, man, the inboxes are turning up. The text messages are turning up. Man, where's my invite type of question is what we're hearing all day. But listen, this is what we preached in July and August, Clay, that this is what these weeks have built up to. This is national championship time. And this is when every rankings counts. So tonight, the rankings are a little special because they don't serve just for bragging rights. They don't serve just for beating on your chest. They serve to really seed you into one of the most competitive national championships on the face of the earth when in regards to youth football.
No doubt, no doubt. And man, you said it best, man. My phone been blowing up, inbox been blowing up. Everybody trying to put they bid in for the national championship, trying to make sure they can get they invite in, whether if it's D1 or Division 2. But most importantly, man, snitching is at an all-time high as well too. Hey, man, and the sad thing about it, Jonah, you got parents snitching on their own team. Their
Hey,
own team, man.
well, you know a lot of that energy comes from Clay is because, some mamas don't get to see their babies play, and this new baby that showed up on the park. So that's when Clay and Jonah gets involved. I don't know who these people think I am, but my baby ain't finna sit no bench for this new baby. New baby? What you talking about, new baby?
Snitching is at an all-time high, man.
Well,
These
speaking of new
as these
babies, Clay,
matchups. Go ahead.
speaking of new babies, before we even talk about matchups, man, the new kids on the block in YNC, man, is our cheer, man, our cheer girls, man. These are new babies on the block, man. So before we even jump into this football heavy, let's talk about these girls and what they bring into, this new dimension to YNC.
Most definitely. So we got something new that we're bringing out this year. So listen, guys, you tag your cheer directors, get them the information, your cheer coaches. We are looking for the top 8 teams in the country. Now, of course, Battle's our primary sponsor, so our cheer competition is built around Battle. We talking about Stump the Yard. We talking about shake, dancing. It's not going to be a traditional cheer competition where you got people building pyramids and tumbling and flipping in the air. Look, we finna get down. We finna get snappy with it. We finna get jiggy with it. All that. This is a invitation only event. All right. So the requirements is have your cheer director, cheer team send us a 2 60-second videos of their best cheer, their best stomp and shake routine. Right. Send it to inviteayouthdnationalchampionship.com. Our cheer director and selection panel is going to look over the videos. We're going to select the top 8 teams in the country to receive official invites. You guys can get on there, register. The event's going to happen Monday, December 5th during opening ceremonies at the YNC. Awards for this is going to be a little bit different, man. I've seen in the past a lot of cheer competitions. They get medals, they'll get some hair bow packages, things like that. We're going to do it YNC style. We're going to get a dope team trophy. All the girls and coaches going to get dope Youth National Championship cheer rings. They're going to get dope Youth National Championship cheer pendants. And on top of that, Battle is going to make the winning team custom cheer uniforms or custom travel tracksuits. So it just depends on what they want to do, man. But this is something totally different, man. It's going to be live. We're going to have the DJ going. It's going to be a party. It's going to really get the week started right. But to make this thing happen, man, we got to have everybody. Send those videos in, man. So with all the great football we got going on, don't forget about this event right here, man. We'll have all the coaches, all the players there, all the parents cheering these girls on, man. It's gonna be a dope event, man. So pass the information along.
So no pun intended, but it's gonna be a cheer battle. It ain't gonna be no cheer competition. It's gonna be a cheer battle. So these girls get to swag it out. Of course, we're gonna treat it the same way we treat football. We're gonna live stream it. We're gonna give them little instant replays on the battle moves and give them the love that we give them boys. You feel me? So that's what it's gonna be all about. But listen, before we talk about matchups, let's just say your coach just signing on right now, Clay. You've never been involved in YNC. You've never been to a YNC competition. What makes YNC National Championship a little bit different? Well, I'll tell you. Let me start on my end from the video production side, Clay. So we feel every championship game is so valuable that we've added things and elements to the championship that they just don't do in youth football. If you haven't been to YNC before, we have a red flag challenge. So if there's a play that's challengeable, just like you see in the NFL or in college, they throw the red flag, we have instant replay review. So we take this very serious. We're just not going to come up there and leave it to the ref. Of course, this is where we had this process to make it a little bit different. And, of course, you already know about the things that they win. You've been seeing the online flyers. I don't know if we have a flyer here can just show you what you win as a YNC champion. But we want to make sure we give back to the kids. It's just not about the kids to compete and we just give you a trophy and pat you on the back. Man, we want you to feel like superstars. We want to roll out the red carpet for you guys when you come down and treat these kids like superstars so they remember the experience. So, everything from rings to tracksuits to trophies to pendants around their necks. The rings this year, man, I would say will rival the college or pro rings. You know what I'm saying? Super dope. That it's just on a whole nother level. So I got to tell you, YNC, that's just show them what it is. It's give them that spin action. See what I'm saying? So when we giving this is for your coaches, this is for the players. Listen, you gotta YNC your life up, man. And we set our own lane. We're not trying to pat ourselves on the back. This is not for us. Clay and I won't be rocking this. You guys will. So we participate. We really love the support. We appreciate how quick we've grown in the last 5 years to compete with arguably some of the best championships football period. Spin that thing for me real quick, Clay. Explain that thing. Woo! So we ain't playing with these people, man. So this is what your babies get. We want to make sure they just leave with something that is tangible that they're gonna remember. So tonight is about placement. Tonight is about rankings. Tonight is about invites. So Clay and I are going to break down a couple things for you guys who've already received invites, who are going to be getting invites. And, of course, D2 is your time to shine this year. So a lot of things happen in the YNC, not only the cheer battles going on, but D2, welcome to second week down here in Florida. It's going to be an absolute movie. So, Clay, let's get it down, bro. Let's rock and roll. You ready to go ahead and jump into some rankings? Well, you know what? Hold up, Clay.
Hold on.
Who has already gotten invites, man? Tell me who got invites already. Let's back that up.
All right, so here's what we're going to do, Jonah. Not only am I going to tell you who already has received invitations on the Division I level, I'm going to tell you who's already accepted. And here's the crazy part, man. Every number one team in the country has already accepted their invitation to the Youth National Championship. So let's get started with 6U, man. So if we're talking about 6U right now, Duval Jaguars, they have received their invitation and accepted it. Pompano Chiefs, they have received their invitation, they have accepted it. Bessemer Tigers, they have received their invitation and they have formally accepted. Those are the top 3 6U teams in the country. While we're here, man, I'm just going to go and drop it right now. We're going to drop the 4th 6U Division I invitation.
Right here live, baby. Let's do it.
Oak Cliff Titans, man. Oak Cliff Titans, man. Congratulations, you got your invitation. So just like the invitation says, man, y'all got 48 hours to talk to the parents, find out what y'all going to do, and officially email us back. This invite will be in your email tonight, Coach 63, and we're going to roll with it like that, Jonah.
So one of the most important things I want to make sure we touch on, Clay, in regards to invites. These invites are based on your current performance. We've been able to evaluate you guys from preseason to now in your current season, which means as long as you keep balling, that invite is valid. But we want to be very clear what we're about to say right now. If you mess around and listen, we don't never coach no scared football, but this is the reality of football. When you get popped before national championships, you better pray you land inside of them top 8s, or you have some options that you're going to need to go ahead and evaluate. You'll need to renege or reschedule those airplane tickets to maybe the following week to D2.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Or look for 2023 action. So this is the reality now. This is football. This is competition. This is not no pageant. This is not where you feel you safe. This is football. So if you get popped before the national championship, listen, Clay, just tell it how it is, man, because this is a sensitive subject for some people.
Listen, guys.
Oh, you changed your voice tone on them.
Listen, here's the thing you guys have to realize, man, there's a process to this. A lot of you guys get the invitation, right? And you get so excited about the invitation, you don't even read the appropriate steps to it. There's a certain time frame that you need to officially reply back and confirm, and then there's a certain time frame that you have to have certain documentation in, and there's also a certain time frame that your team has to be registered, and all of the players need to be uploaded in the system, man. Take the time to pay attention to this invitation that you get in your email. There are 10 very important attachments, and all 10 documents are very critical. One thing we won't do, and those of you that have been around us before, you understand that if documentation is not in place, you will not compete in the event. You won't finish the event. Unfortunately, I've had to remove some people from the event for not because they were cheating, but just because the documentation was not in place, right? So we're very particular about this, man. We, myself, Jonah, and everybody involved, our sponsors, man, we do everything we can to make this the most complete, most credible, most competitive national championship in the country, man. So it's a process to it, man. And man, you just gotta wait. And when you get it, man, let's get it done the right way. But Jonah, you said the most important part. Even when you get that invitation, it is not over. You still gotta win. You still gotta uphold your end of the bargain, because, like you said, if not, you could be shifting things to Division II. You might be shifting things to a different event. And I don't want to call nobody's baby ugly, but if it ain't my baby, it ain't pretty. So I'm just gonna put it out there like that. So, but I'm gonna roll in the 7U, Jonah. I'm gonna roll in the 7U. All right. So
let's go.
Right.
Who got the invite?
The number one team in the country, Duval Jaguars. They have received their invitation. They have formally accepted. The number 2 7U team in the country, SED Wolverines. They have received their invitation. They have accepted it. Now, the number 3 7U team in the country, Bessemer Tigers, they've received their invitation. They still on the clock right now of accepting it. So by this time tomorrow, if they don't accept, then that means we can go to the invite another person in their place, and then at that point it's first come first serve. But with that being said, man, I'm finna unleash a 4th Division I invitation right now. Congratulations to the defending YNC national champion, Red Dog Unit.
RDU, Real Deal University.
RDU in the building.
So yeah, man. Red Dog, they started out the year on fire, had a loss early in there, but let me tell you, Clay, they want to come back. They want that championship, man. So congratulations to RDU. I know them boys and the coaches and D-Focus are already want to make sure they go ahead and bring that back home to Georgia. Yes, sir. Man, so all right, well, keep it rolling, man.
Yeah, I ain't gonna slow it down. So 8U, of course, defending YNC back-to-back national champion, Voodoo, number 1 team in the country. They have received their invitation. They have accepted it. The number 2 team in the country, Pac Prime, they've received their invitation. They have not accepted it yet. So, again, at midnight tonight, now we can invite somebody else in their spot, and it'll be first come, first serve after that point. The number 3 8U team in the country, SED Wolverines, they have received their invitation, and they accepted it immediately. So now, what's going to be interesting is when Pac Prime and SED meet each other, somebody is going to put the other person in a difficult situation in the playoffs. Right. But we're not going to wait 4 weeks from now to send out those invites, man. So here we go. The next YNC Division I invitation on 8U, Orlando Outlaws, coming on up. Congratulations, man. So,
man,
they'll receive all this stuff in their invite, in their email. Like always, they got 48 hours to email back and officially accept it. And then there's an additional turn time for documentation that needs to get in, additional turn time for them to get registered. So as you can see, man, that's our process. Congratulations to the Orlando Outlaws. Now,
and Clay, what I want to tell people, Clay, before you keep rolling, I want to make sure people know that this is not the end of Division I invites. This is a process. We'll be giving invites all the way out through next week. So if you don't see the invite here tonight, does not mean you're not receiving your Division I invite. So that's why the rankings play such an important part tonight, because you're going to really see who is eligible for an invite when we drop these rankings tonight.
Correct. All right, let's roll on to 9U. So I'm going to make this one simple, man. Number 1 team in the country, defending YNC national champion, Twin City. They've received it. They've accepted it. Number 2 team in the country right now, Duval Jaguars on 9U. They received it. They accepted it. Number 3 team in the country right now, Georgia Eagles. They received it. They accepted it. Now, gonna roll it out to the 4th invite on Division I. Congratulations to the OG Ducks. Hey, you guys are now on the clock for accepting your invitation to the 9U Division I Youth National Championship.
And man, Clay, what an exciting weekend for 9U this weekend. Speaking of the OG Ducks, they will be flying into Georgia. They touch down tomorrow morning. They'll be taking on Georgia Eagles in Twin City in one weekend. So, man, I'm going to definitely have a front row seat to check that out. That is definitely going to juggle this top 5 in 9U in the Youth National Championship run.
No, most definitely, man. I'm very anxious to see how that whole weekend is going to turn out. Going over to 10U. Keep it rolling.
Let's get it.
Number one team in the world right now, Lambeau.
The universe.
They've received their invitation. They have accepted it. Number 2 10U team in the country right now, Duval Jaguars. They have received their invitation. They have accepted it. Number 3 team, Renegades Coach United. They've received their invitation. They have not formally accepted yet. So right now, RCU is on the clock. And another team we're about to put on the clock with their official invitation, the number 4 ranked team in the country. Congratulations to the NTB Bad Boys, man. You are officially invited
representing the Midwest
Youth National Championship.
Okay. That's what's up. The Midwest is in the house.
Now, that's going to be interesting, Jonah, because with the exception of maybe I think the KC Outlaws, and I think we had the Bad Boys at one point. We hadn't had really a lot of teams from St. Louis or from the Midwest, man. So this particular team, I've been hearing a lot of good news about, man. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going on.
Definitely certified. Bad Boys are definitely certified.
Rolling on to 11U. I think it's a no-brainer. We all know SED got the invite, accepted it. Rare Breeds got the invite, accepted it. Rod Mack and the Miami Garden Ravens have their invite. They have not formally accepted yet. So Miami Garden Ravens is on the clock. Tomorrow, if they don't accept by then we roll to the next team in their place. But we are officially inviting Gold-Blooded Titans on 11U. Congratulations to Al Black and his staff on your official invitation to the 2022 Division I Youth National Championship. You guys are now on the clock to accept.
Right. That's what's up. That's what's up.
All right.
12U.
Rolling on. Going over to 12U. Yeah, this one hot right here. All right. So now, rolling on over to 12U. DEA received their invitation and accepted it. Central DeKalb Dream Chasers, they have received their invitation and they have not formally accepted yet. So they are still.
You better get on your paperwork, Playboy.
OG Ducks, they have received their invitation. They have not formally accepted. They are still on the clock.
Miguel Williams Jr., where are you, senor?
With that being said, we're finna extend the 4th invitation out to our 4-time defending YNC national champions, Real Deal University. Congratulations to Coach Reggie and his staff.
So, yeah, man. So, the most important part of just not doing the X's and O's, you got to take care of your paperwork in regards when it comes to the national championship. So, there's no exceptions. We don't care how good you are to be the number 1 team or the number 14 team. You got to get it in. So, as Clay said, you're officially on the clock. And you better tag those people if they're not on there tonight. Better let them know what time it is. You'll be on the outside looking in. Because when that 8 bracket locks, it's locked for 2022.
All right, let's roll on to 13U. Number 1 team in the country, Falcons United. They have received their invite. They have accepted it. Number 2 team, Golden Army. They have received their invite. They have not formally accepted. So they are on the clock. Number 3 team in the country, IB Braves. They have received their invitation. They have not formally accepted yet. Both number 2 and number 3 are both on the clock. So when that clock expires, we'll roll to some other teams in their place. But congratulations to the 4th invitation on 13U, Lauderdale Lions.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to you. You are now on the clock with your official 2022 Division I Youth National Championship invitation.
Clay, you just got the text in and the email returned back from Valliston Wilson. That is the Dream Chasers 12U.
Hey, he made sure the CCU
live on the show. I just received
it. All right. So now, rolling on over to 14U, right? Number 1 team in the country, OC Buckeyes and defending YNC national champion. They have received their invitation. They have accepted it. Number 2 team in the country, OG Buckeyes. They have, OG Ducks. OG Ducks have received their invitation. They have not formally accepted it on 14U. Number 3 team in the country, Maryland Heat. They have received their invitation. They have not formally accepted it on 14U. So with that being said, OG Ducks and Maryland Heat on 14U, hey, they are on the clock. Time runs out on them, then we'll keep rolling. But we're going to present, for the first time since I've been over YNC, the next invitation to the 757 Colts, man. Congratulations on your official 2022 Division I 14U national invitation, man. So
I like it.
So Jonah,
I like it.
Here's my question for you.
Yeah.
We got these Division I invites that's out. So far, we've got, let me see, we've got 27 that have been issued out before the show started. And accepted has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 out of 27 have already been accepted, man. I don't know about you, man, but that sounds like a movie to me.
Oh, yeah. And listen, these coaches are locked in. As soon as they get that text tonight, they're just taking it. Yeah, you can't lounge back. It'll be done before midnight tonight. Trust me. So when we come back on next show, we'll be having these brackets starting to line up because, listen, this is what these people work for all year. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited for the potential brackets. But you got to understand, this is not like somebody how these guys run their leagues, and not talking about national leagues, but local leagues that you get to the paperwork when you want to. No, we lock in early, and that way we make sure we have an organized event so everybody's accountable for. You know who you scout, you know who you're getting down with. So, yeah, now that's D1 tonight, Clay, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. And as we get to some of these rankings, man, D2 is getting some invites tonight.
D2 is getting some invites tonight, man. Not only will we go over the top 15 team in the country, Jonah and I will go over that revised D2 watch list, and this is what we're gonna do. When we go through that, D2 drop watch list, we're gonna drop 2 Division II invites tonight on every age level, just like
yes,
that.
Sir. So let's not even put it off. I know you like to take a look quick commercial break before we hit these rankings. So you go ahead and, circle around, drink whatever you drink, and do whatever you're doing. So when we come back, we'll have the Clayton water break right now. When we come back, rankings uncut. We have these top rankings for you in the nation.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark.
It's gonna be like that all day!
I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing.
All right, welcome back. We're going to jump right into it. Clay, I'm going to take off with the 6U, and we're going to talk about the teams on the rise in Division I right now. Teams trying to break into that top 10 action. And what better than starting off with the 11th team in the country, Huffman Hurricanes out of Alabama, coming in at the number 11 spot on 6 and under. And, of course, representing Missouri, Matthew Dickey War Dogs coming in at number 12. And, of course, out of New York, Great Elite bringing in that number 13 spot. And, of course, the 404 Bulls out of Georgia, welcome to the list at number 14. And rounding out the teams on the rise, the Maryland Heat, of course, representing Maryland. And without further ado, let's rock and roll with this top 10 in 6 and under. Roll it, maestro. SED Wolverines in the house, bringing in that number 10 on the bubble for that Division I invite. Coming in at the number 9 spot, let's give a shout out to Lauderdale Lake Vikings. Listen, Super Bowl time coming up for them. They can jump up really quickly in a couple weeks. At the number 8 spot, West Orlando Jags. Keep an eye on this team. They're trying to punch it in. They want to bring home a national championship. They have the personnel to do it. At the 7th spot, Blue Devils. Man, these are boys trying to get back up there, get into their spot, and get what they need to get. At number 6, Matry Ravens. They're holding it down on the national level. And at the number 5 spot, Atlanta Elite, holding it down at the 6 and under. Coming in at the number 4 spot, Oak Cliff got that invite. Let's see what those boys do with it. And at the number 3 spot, Bessemer Tigers. Talented. Bessemer has a lot of power coming in at those running backs. I like them to make a push for the national championship. Pompano Chiefs out of the FYFL representing Florida. Will they have enough to hold off in the FYFL championship? Number 1 team, Duval. These boys are really just pushing their way. Look for them to want to push when they get down here to South Florida, Clay. So that wraps up our top 15 for Division I. Well, we got to talk about Division II, Clay. Don't forget about those boys over to that side. And this is what we talk about. This is the watch list. It's a little bit revised from last week, but these are the teams that are on the bubble to make it and make their first appearance for the first annual 2022 D2 for YNC. Let's talk about the Huffman Hurricanes out of Alabama on that bubble. Matthew Dickey War Dogs, Great Elite, 404 Bulls, and the Maryland Heat. That is our teams on the rise. San Antonio Outlaws out of Texas trying to push their win at that number 5 spot or number 6 spot. Furber Flames coming out of Georgia. Sacramento Kings out of California. TNS Cougars out of Texas. Grant Junior Pacers out of California. Always have those little boys, those baby ballers doing it big on the West Coast. Louisville Jaguars out of Kentucky. And Gold-Blooded Titans trying to send their babies to a national championship. The EP Sharks out of Texas. And the Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes. This is a team that I can tell you can push for a national championship in the FYFL. It can flip very fast. Look out for these Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes. You heard it here first on Generation Next. They may push for a national championship. Now, let's not sleep on the Dirty Birds Elite out of Missouri. These boys want to be D2 champions. And, hey, one of the most famous programs on the map, 8 Mile Giants out of Alabama. Look for them to make a push for Division II. Carolina Elite out of North Carolina. That wraps up our Division II. These are the teams to watch for, Clay. I'm really looking at these boys to make a push at the 6U.
So listen, man, I'm finna drop 2 of these invites on Division II at 6U, right?
Let's do it.
Congratulations to Carolina United and Dirty Birds Elite out of Missouri, man. Congratulations.
Dirty Birds.
Both of you guys have just got stamped for y'all's Division II Youth National Championship invitation.
Let's go. Let's go.
Right. So now let's roll on. Let's roll on to 7U, man.
7U.
So of course, 7U ranking. We're gonna start with our on the rise. So, gosh, dog it, Jonah, you hit me with this one. I can't say number 15. Starting at number 15.
Man, hey, own it, earn it, own it.
Smearless Seahawks. I don't know if I
I
said
couldn't
it
hear
right.
you. Say it
And I
again. The people
apologize
ain't
if I
hear
said
you,
it
bro.
wrong, guys. Smearing the Seahawks sitting at number 15. Number 14, Oxford Circle. Sitting at number 13, St. Louis the Ticket. Number 12, Playmakers Elite. And the number 11 team in the country right now, Gorilla Mob out of Houston, Texas. And let's get into the top 10. Roll it, AG. Starting off at number 10, Maryland Heat. Number 9, representing Alabama, 8 Mile Giants. Sitting at number 8, led by the captain, Coach O, Atlanta Elite. Number 7, and a team that I think is going to make some noise in the postseason, Maryland Elite. Number 6, and I'll be there this weekend to watch them up close and in person, Big Meaty and his crew, Louisiana Tigers. Sitting at number 5, out of South Florida, Lauderdale Lake Vikings, Dog Pound. Number 4, and the defending YNC National Champion, RDU. The number 3 7U team in the country right now, Alabama on their back, Bessemer Tigers. Number 2, and trying to get that number 1 spot, Southeast Dallas Wolverines. And then the number 1 7U team in the country, Duval Jaguars.
Doing it big.
So that's going to wrap up our top 10, man. And then, of course, you know, like we always talk about, this Division II vibe, man, it's evolving every day. So our on the rise are always going to be our top 5 seeds in the Division II with Gorilla Mob, Playmakers Elite, St. Louis the Ticket, Oxford Circuit, and Smyrna Seahawks. Now, the rest of our Division II 7U watch list consists of Westlake Ducks out of Texas, Huffman Hurricanes out of Alabama, West Orlando Jaguars out of Florida, So Icy Hurricanes out of Georgia, Renegades Coach United out of Texas, Osceola Cowboys out of Florida, Central DeKalb out of Georgia, 423 Ravens out of Georgia, West 7 Rams, Tidewater Trojans, West Texas Rain, Louisville Panthers, new organization added to the list, Columbus Ice, Carolina Reloaded, Tank Dogs, and the Watkins Hornets. So like we did on 6U, I'm going to drop it again. We are going to introduce 2 Division II invites. So congratulations to So Icy Hurricanes out of Georgia and the Watkins Hornets out of DMV area. You officially have been issued invites for the Division II Youth National Championship.
I like it. I like it. Well, man, we're going to keep the action rolling, man. So you wrapped up the 7U. I'm going to jump right on the 8U right now. And our team's on the rise at 8U. Let's start at number 15. And you got to always talk about these boys doing it big and ready to put New York on the map. You hear that name right again. Great Elite coming in at the number 15 spot. At the 14 spot, Tarrant City Ducks out of Alabama. At the 13 spot, West Baltimore Ravens holding it down for Maryland. And right above them, L'Oreal Stallions coming in and wrapping that up for the teams on the rise. Trey Manor Elite out of Florida. This is a new organization just really making a splash, not only on one level, but several levels. Look for them to doing something big. And I really love their 11U team as well, Clay. So keep an eye out for Trey Manor Elite. Now let's roll it for the top 10 teams in the nation at the 8 and under. Coming in at that number 10 spot for the 8 and under, Louisiana Dolphins, representing Louisiana, holding it down on the bubble to try to get into that Division I vaulted competition that's going to be in South Florida. Lauderdale Lake Vikings, another team that has an opportunity to do something big. in the FYFL championship, so they're on the bubble as well. Coming in at the number 8 spot, the Saw Boys, coming out of Ohio, CVE Cincinnati B. Coming down at the number 7 spot, you heard this name before, great program, Bessemer Tigers, representing Alabama. Coming in at the number 6 spot, Rare Breeds at the 8 and under. Now let's talk about the top 5 teams in the nation. Let's talk about them right now. Coming in at that number 5 spot, Crescent City Chargers. Now they got to start playing some teams. If otherwise, they're going to start going down that neighborhood. But listen, right now, they're holding down the 5 spot. Orlando Outlaws already got their invite, looking good on the road for a national championship and accepted as well. Coming in at the number 3 spot, SED Wolverines. The program is blowing up over there in Texas. Gotta love what the Wolverines are doing over there on a national level. Coming in at the number 2 spot, Pat Prime. This is your national running up. They haven't let off yet either. One of the biggest players in the country is on that team, but will it be enough to knock off Voodoo? They don't want to be called Atlanta Elite, so I'm going to just refer to what they want to be called. Voodoo at the 8U holding down the number 1 spot in the nation for YNC. So look, Clay, we talk about those top teams in Division 1. Division 2 is going to be lit, and of course, as you said before, our top 5 teams are going to be those teams on the rise. Trayman Elite out of Florida, Lawrence Stallions out of Maryland, West Baltimore Ravens out of Maryland, Tarrant City Ducks out of Alabama, and of course, Raider Elite out of New York. Now let's talk about what they're doing on the West Coast. OG Ducks holding it down with the Wendell Inn at Division 2, Matthew Dickey War Dogs, Detroit Buckeyes out of Michigan, Mega Jags out of Kentucky, Oxford Circle out of Pennsylvania, Duval Jags, of course, out of Florida. Athletes by nature, you heard that name before. They're trying to push back on the national scene. 901 Memphis Elite. Shout out to Coach Boo and those guys doing it big over there in Tennessee. Indiana Firehawks trying to get back into the action. Havoc out of Texas. RDU, of course, trying to do their push as well. Upstate Titans out of South Carolina. Arkansas Lions. WTX Rain out of Texas. Douglasville Tigers out of Georgia. Bad Boys out of Missouri. More Truth balling out over there in Oklahoma. San Antonio Outlaws trying to bring back some old pride since they've been off the network. Man, it's been rough for the Outlaws, but they'll bounce back. And the O University trying to get back at the AU. We just need some leadership over at San Antonio Outlaws. We'll be good. We'll get it back. And that wraps it up for your D2 AU. Give me them invites.
All right, so D2 invites. Congratulations to 8U, Great Elite, and RDU. Congratulations to both of those 8U teams, man. Their tickets or their invites have been printed for the Division II Youth National Championship. So, scroll on down, man. We're going to head on to 9U, and we're going to talk about this top 15. So, on 9U, as we start our On the Rise, starting at number 15, Tennessee Mob Squad Tigers. Sitting at number 14, Noonan Outlaws. Number 13, they had a long weekend last weekend. They're looking to go to the Halloween Massacre and bounce back. Gold-blooded Titans. At number 12, East End Tigers out of Virginia. And the number 11 team, wrapping up our On the Rise, Wahoma Seminoles out of Alabama, another team that's looking to bounce back after a loss last week. And let's go into our 9U.
Clay, don't forget about number 14 there.
Did I forget Noonan?
Oh, yeah, you jumped right to gold-blooded after they got beat down.
My bad. Noonan Outlaws at number 14. And now we're going to roll into that top 10. Hit it, AG.
There you go.
At number 10, and new to the rankings, Tarrant City Ducks out of Alabama.
Yes, sir.
Number 9, Montgomery Gators, another strong team out of Alabama. Number 8, after a big weekend, More Truth out of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Sitting at number 7, South Florida's own Miami Gardens Ravens.
The Flock.
Rolling in at number 6, another South Florida product, Lauderdale Lake Vikings. Jumping up to number 5 after a huge weekend on the field, TNS Cougars.
Back-to-back wins this weekend. Great job.
Sitting at number 4, OG Ducks off the West Coast. Your number 3 team in the country right now, and they're going to be locking up with OG this weekend, Georgia Eagles.
Yes, sir.
Number 2, Duval Jaguars. And then, of course, the number 1 team in the country still rolling, defending YNC national champion. They'll be locking up with the OG Ducks as well this weekend, Twin City Outlaws.
Win City, Twin City.
Oh, yeah, man, and they proud of it. So now, as we start talking about this Division II watch list, again, at the beginning of this watch list is going to be our On the Rise, Wahoma Seminoles, East End Tigers, Gold-Blooded Titans, Noonan Outlaws, and Tennessee Mob Squad Tigers. We're also keeping an eye on the Vegas Black Wolves out of Nevada, Louisville Dolphins out of Kentucky, Tucker Lions out of Georgia, Louisville Chargers out of Kentucky, Treasure Coast Spartans out of Florida, Oakland Dynamites off the West Coast, Southside Ducks down in Houston, Gorilla Gang in Arizona, Trojan Black out of Ohio, Louisiana Titans, who went 1-1 this past weekend in Houston.
Yeah.
Bullet Football out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Georgia Buckeyes, West Orlando Jags, Renegade Colts, West Texas Rain, Southwest Stampede, DFW Ravens, Havoc, Great Elite, Carson Colts, and the St. Louis Blackhawks. So, like always, man, we're going to drop these 2 Division II invites. So, without further ado, congratulations to the Tucker Lions and Great Elite. Both of you guys on 9U have officially been invited to the Division II Youth National Championship.
I like it. 2 tough teams. I like it. Man, well, speaking of tough teams, Clay, I'm going to bring in your teams on the rise for 10 and under. And, of course, we already know about the world beat at the number 1, but what about the teams that's trying to push it into those top 10s? Let's talk about the SC Wolverines, new to the list. Congratulations on making your first appearance at the top 15. And at the 14th spot, Bessemer Tigers out of Alabama. 13th spot, Tampa Jags holding it down in Florida. And at the number 12 spot, TNS Cougars out of Texas. Like what they're doing. Maryland Heat has been on the verge of trying to get in this top 10. Look out for the Heat coming in at number 11. And that wraps up our teams on the rise for 10 and under. Now let's talk about those top 10 teams in the country for this 10U squads. Roll it, Maestro. Here we go. On the 1s and 2s. Coming in at the number 10 spot, VA Bulls representing Virginia, new to the scene. I gotta like these boys. Look for them to try to push to get into that number, the top 8, so they can make a run. Miami Gardens Chiefs, listen, was in the top 5, took a loss, but they can bounce back in the FYFL championship. Great Elite, this is their premier squad representing that Great Elite. Right at the number 8, eligible for a invite. Pearland Hurricanes, representing out of Texas. Gotta love the consistency of the Hurricanes. Big boys, young boys, it doesn't matter. They always putting somebody on that national map. And of course, Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes doing and dominating in the FYFL. Look for these boys to push for a national championship. Of course, Rare Breeds, they've been making noise all year in the top 5. Eligible for a national championship invite. Let's see what happens this week. NTV Bad Boys, number 4, already receiving theirs and their invite. Look for them to go ahead and come down here to South Florida and make some noise. Renegade Colts, we'll see what they decide to do. The invite is in the mailbox. Not all they got to do is sign the paper and let's go. Colts bringing in at the number 3 spot. And Duval Jags, signed, sealed, delivered. You'll see them at the YNC as long as they finish out their season nice and clean. And at the number 1 spot, the best team, I'm going to tell you, the Universe's national championship. Of course, we won't refer to them as Century Cap Jaguars. We'll simply call them Lambeau. Congratulations, Coach Howard, putting on a dominating performance, just not for 2022, but since you've been on the scene, we give you all the praise for these young men and how they balling out on the national level. So now, of course, our top 10 teams or our top 5 teams are off the rise. Of course, is Maryland Heat, TNS, Tampa Jags, Bessemer Tigers, SED Wolverines. That rounds out those. So those are our teams that's on that D2 list, watch list. Now let's talk about a team that I think can play and beat anybody in the country because they always give a hard fight to the Lambeau squad. ABA Bulldogs. Don't sleep on them. They're on that D2 list for an invite. OG Ducks coming off the West Coast invite as well. And Brenton Bruins. This team out of Washington, we've heard about them all year. This is their time to shine. If they really want to put that name on the national map, this is their opportunity to go ahead and compete against some of these names we talked about. SED Wolverines out of Texas. Osceola Cowboys representing Florida. Bessemer Tigers, Alabama. Pac Prime out of Texas. Walking Hornets out of Maryland. Athletes by Nature out of Texas. Cornerstone Warriors out of Texas. Miramar Wolverines, a team that we think can fight with any of these Division II teams. I like their quarterback and what they offer. He was hurt in the preseason, but making a comeback now. Look for them to make some noise. Oceanside Monarchs. Clay and I saw this team in person. This is a team that can easily win a Division II championship. Atlanta Elite out of Georgia. Southwest Stampede out of Arizona. Spillionaires out of Colorado. Matthew Dickey out of Missouri. EP Sharks out of Texas. Louisiana Wave, Coach Erica doing a great job with that squad. It's your opportunity to go ahead and bring home a national championship to Louisiana. And, of course, Carolina Reloaded out of North Carolina. Trojan Back out of Ohio. Columbus Knights took a loss last weekend. This is a team that's on the bubble, but I can tell you they can come home with a national championship as well. And Matthew Dickey Battle Dogs out of Missouri wraps up that 10 and under watch list for Division II.
And I can tell you, Jonah, that 10U Division II watch list, man, it's a deep watch list. But the competition is just that thick out there, man. So without further ado, we're going to punch these 2 invites to the Division II. So congratulations to the Miramar Wolverines out of Florida and the Oceanside Monarchs out of California. You both have been officially invited to the Division II Youth National Championship. Congratulations,
that's
guys.
Some competition. That's some good competition there. I like it.
All right. So now let's get this 11U jumping. They've been that whole age level been jumping for a few weeks now. So top 15 rankings starting with our up and rising, sitting at number 15, the Bessemer Tigers, who are going to be looking to bounce back this week. Number 14, City Life Raptors. Sitting at number 13, Carolina Reloaded, representing North Carolina. Number 12, RMG Elite out of New York. And the number 11 team right now in the country, Lauderdale Lake Vikings out of the FYFL. And with that, we're going to roll into the top 10, 11U in the country. Roll it, AG. Number 10, Trey Man Elite out of Florida. Sitting at number 9, Atlanta Elite. Number 8, a team that travels far and wide, right out of Seattle, Washington, Air Academy.
Yep.
Number 7, Renegade Coach United, defending AYF National Champion. Number 6, and they've gotten real hot lately, off that West Coast, OG Ducks.
Yes, sir.
Number 5, a team that's always representing Michigan, Southfield Falcons. Rolling in at number 4, and they'll have a big matchup against number 2 this weekend, Gold-Blooded Titans. Number 3, Miami Gardens Ravens. We're going to see what Rod Mack going to do, guys. The clock is ticking. Number 2, and defending YNC National Champion, Rare Breeds. And the number 1 11U team in the country, SED Wolverines. And that's going to wrap
Yes,
up
sir.
our top 15 in 11U right now. Rolling on over to the Division II watch list. Of course, out on the rise, Lauderdale Lake Vikings, RMG Elite, Carolina Reloaded, City Life Raptors, and Bessemer Tigers are going to top that off. Additionally, we're keeping our eyes on the North Philly Blackhawks, Pac Prime out of Texas, Arizona Heat, the Island Boys from Hawaii, Brooklyn Chiefs, a team that really impressed me when we saw them in the preseason, Killeen Cove Chiefs out of Texas. Man, last weekend they held SCD down in the first half. DMV Longhorns out of Maryland, Pearland Hurricanes, Oceanside Monarchs again. There's that team again. Texas
Yep.
Mustangs, El Paso BBB, a team out from El Paso, New Mexico area that's undefeated. West Side Steelers out of Michigan, Louisville Chargers, Gwinnett Top Gun out of Georgia, Progress Village, Certified Bad Boys out of Missouri, Princeton Vikes out of Ohio, and the U City Hit Squad. So, as we roll through that list of Division II watch lists, we're going to officially invite, and congratulations to these two 11U teams, the Island Boys out of Hawaii and Gwinnett Top Guns out of Georgia. You two have both officially been invited to the Division II Youth National Championship. Congratulations.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now we get ready to roll to this 12 and under action, which, Clay, arguably, I think this 12 and under from a quality standpoint, man, the top 8 teams, I don't care who's in it, man. It's just if you leave out of there as a champion, unequivocally, you are the undisputed national champion of the universe. So,
yeah,
man, you come out of there, out of that gauntlet, man, you deserve it. You deserve it. So let's jump off with the teams on the rise in the 12 and under. Let's start with number 15, Playmakers Elite out of VA. Of course, Southfield Falcons holding it down out of Michigan at the 13 spot. Ridge Road Titans holding it down out of Maryland. And at the number 12 spot, a very talented team that just can beat anybody, anytime, anywhere, Arizona Champions at the 12 spot. And wrapping up that 11 spot team that has been up and has been down this year. Some hot spots sometimes, playing great, and then just, surprisingly take some big losses. Rounding out that team on the rise, IB Braves out of California. Now we're going to go ahead and mix it on the ones and twos for these top 10 teams for 12 and under. Here we go. Plantation Wildcats at the number 10 spot, trying to push into that bubble for the Division I invite. Rare Breeds coming in at the number 9 spot, representing Georgia, of course. Coming in at the number 8 spot, Brick City Lions out of New Jersey. Tough defense. At the number 7 spot, TMT, the Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes, representing Florida. And man, just having a big loss this week, coming in at the number 6 spot, surprisingly, RDU after losing to Central DeKalb Dream Chasers. Coming down at the number 5 spot, West Orlando Jags holding it down for Florida, top 5 team, just making sure they get everybody healthy as they head towards the postseason. And moving up, the Mob at number 4, playing consistent football as we get close to the end of the year. And at the number 3 spot, the OG Ducks, benefiting from some of these wins and losses, getting back into the top 3. They got to be happy about that. And at the number 2 spot, big win over the defending national champions, CD Dream Chasers. Big win, looking very impressive. And holding down the number 1 spot, undisputed, undefeated, Dragons Elite representing Texas. They have not lost a game this year. They hold down the number 1 spot at the 12 and under. So like I told you before, that 12 and under is a gauntlet, man. So, these teams are really jousting themselves in position. And if you look at it, very interesting matchups right now. If you look at that 1 through number 8, if it took off right now, it would be an absolute movie, But anytime, anyone can get popped on day one. And we've seen it before, Clay. So many times that we've hosted the Youth National Championship, and we're just getting comfortable day one. We have in our mind that these other teams should last this way and last that long. I'll never forget, I was talking to Brandon Morton last year. He was Falcons United 12 and under. And I'm saying, well, Brandon, to make it to the second round, I really got time to talk and watch this game right now. I'm going to head over to this other field. And, man, I go ahead into the concession stands, and Brandon looking crazy. I'm like, Brandon, what's going on? Man, we got popped. So, and that was a talented team. Now, they're better. They added a lot of pieces this year. But it just shows you, the first game you can rampage. The year before they won the championship, same thing. They jumped off the airplane, got popped. Soon as they got off the airplane, couldn't even get settled in. So that just tells you the competition level. You can't take it for granted. There's no days off where you get to blow a team out by 30 and have, the next game up. So without that, it won't be any vacation over here at Division II. And I'll show you right now, of course, our team's on the rise. They lead off this Division II right now. IB Braves, Arizona Champions, Ridge Roads Titans, Southfield Falcons, Playmakers Elite are your top 5 in Division II watch list right now. And then, of course, coming at the number 6 spot, and I'll read them from there, Bayou Boys out of Texas, Jackpot Boys out of Oklahoma, Tri-City Colts out of Indianapolis, North Philly Blackhawks out of Pennsylvania, PPE out of Pennsylvania, Indiana Select out of Indiana, OC Buckeyes out of California, very dangerous team, very solid, can be easily a Division II champ. Savage Ducks out of Texas, Greenview Eagles out of South Carolina. Team I really like, man, I saw him in person in the preseason, tenfold prep. I like this. Is my dark horse in Division II right there, Clay. St. Louis Elite out of Missouri, Motor City Jaguars, tough team, a nice invite this year. I want to see them boys compete for a YNC Division II championship. Spillionaires, talented quarterback, drop back. Reminds me of a little young Dan Marino. Can he get it done on the Division II level? West Texas Reign. Listen, West Texas Reign has an opportunity to finally put Texas on the map in their region in Division II on a national level. Corey Ingram Elite out of New York. Naperville Patriots. I love this team. Classy organization. Will they have enough to bring home that nice trophy? Centerville Tigers out of Missouri. Centerville Tigers, out of Missouri. And to wrap up our Division II watch list for 12 and under, St. Louis Elite out of Missouri. So, Clay, don't tease the people anymore. Give us some D2 invites on the 12 and under.
All right. So the 2 D2 invites on 12U that we finna hand out. Congratulations to Tenfold Prep and Naperville Patriots. You guys both have officially been invited to the Division II Youth National Championship on 12U.
I like it. Absolute movie. I like it. Now we got 13 and under action. 13 and under.
Hey, Jonah, man, sometimes I scan over and read these comments, man, and man, I tell you what, man, I love the people that tune in to us. Whether if you're a fan of the YNC or you're a fan of the show or you hate us, man, I love it all, man. It's always entertaining, man. All right. Rolling into the top 15, 13U in the country. Starting with our On the Rise, we're going to go with number 15, Matawan Huskies out of New Jersey. Number 14, Joliet Ravens. Number 13, the St. Louis Blackhawks. Number 12, Lee out of Ohio. And sitting at number 11 right now, they've got a big game this weekend, DEA out of Texas. And after that, we're going to roll into our top 10, 13U in the country. Hit it, AG. Number 10, North Philly Blackhawks out of PA. Sitting at number 9. And these guys are chomping at the bit to get to Division I. SRT Giants. Number 8, and they'll be locking up with number 7 this weekend for a big West Coast matchup. Harbor Area Pilots. Number 7, Chandler Elite Bears, representing Arizona. Number 6, Southfield Falcons, representing Michigan. Rolling in at number 5, Duval Jaguars. They're looking to highlight what their younger brothers are doing at number 1 and number 2 in the nation. Number 4, just received their invite tonight. Lauderhill Lions out of South Florida. Number 3, IB Braves. The clock's ticking, guys. What y'all gonna do? Sitting at number 2, Golden Army, representing the FYFL. And then the number 1 13U team in the country right now, complete from top to bottom, Falcons United out of Georgia.
Yeah.
And that's going to wrap up our top 15 on 13U. So again, as we roll into the Division II watch list, it'll be highlighted by our On the Rise DEA, Ginn Elite, St. Louis Blackhawks, Joliet Ravens, and Matawan Huskies. Addition to that list is the 5280 Junior Buffs out of Colorado, DMV Knights, Central Virginia Hurricanes. This is a team that's undefeated, Jonah, and they're one big win away from jumping into this Division I conversation. Alpha Dogs out of North Carolina, Commonwealth Warriors out of Virginia, Progress Village, Creekside Junior Seminoles, DFW Broncos, Jackpot Boys out of Oklahoma, O-Boys out of Ohio, The Show out of Texas, Richmond Perrine Giants out of Florida, Southside Ducks, and Centerville Tigers out of Illinois. And I'm not going to hold it, man. Congratulations to these two 13U teams, St. Louis Blackhawks and Alpha Dogs. Both of you are officially received your Division II Youth National Championship invitations on 13U.
I like it. And I don't know if you've been paying attention to the comments. Mike Williams from the OG Duck 12U has made sure he got on here and said they are YNC certified. So you just want everybody to know. So just go ahead and handle that paperwork, Miguel. And I'm going to call you Miguel until you handle the paperwork. Then I'm going to call you Mike once your paperwork done. So that's on that, man. So, but no, that's big for Division II over there. 13U is another age group that I just think is an absolute movie. Falcons United, Golden Army. If IB Braves, if they make it or not, but you go right to Louisville Giants, Duval Jags. Southfield, if they make it or not, you got Chandler Bear, Elite Bears, Harbor Area Pilots. They'll be facing off. But, it depends on the outscore of that game. We talked about this when we were talking about 12U last week, Clay. If those teams kind of stay relatively close, they will just kind of be flipping spots. But arguably, they are the top 8 teams in the country. And then you have an SRT Giants that's right on the outside looking in. We already know their resume. Giants are very, very tough. So, but what puts the Giants in great position is because maybe an IB Braves will not be accepting it. They're electing to go to another championship. Same thing with Chandler Bears, which then brings in SRT Giants and North Philly Blackhawks, or potentially a DEA. So that 13U, no matter how you slice it or dice it, it is straight fire from top to bottom. When you get off that plane, you better be ready to play some football.
Oh, yeah.
So listen, looks like I have the closing act for the night. So let me get the cane and the top hat ready to close it out with the top 14U teams in the country and head out our last D2 invites. And, of course, Clay, you'll be dropping invites all this week as we keep going on. So, of course, coaches, if you do not feel you have your current contact information, which is not accurate with our database, make sure you email to invite@nationalchampionship.com your correct contact information, because as Clay has been making sure you guys pay attention, you're on the clock. This is a fast-moving machine, and YNC will not stop and wait for you just to kind of get to it at your convenience. It's about locking and loading and making sure you guys get into your respective spot. So with that being said, our teams on the rise for 14 and under, let me give it to you at the number 15 spot, Rockledge Raiders. And of course, coming in at the 14 spot, East Side Cowboys. At the 13 spot, Tampa Ravens out of Florida. And at the 12 spot, Glassboro Trojans. Coming in at the number 11 spot, I really like Pine Hill Trojans to make a run for it. And then they're outside looking in, but don't sleep on Pine Hill Trojans. Now, let's wrap up the top 10 teams for the 14 under, the big boys in youth football. Coming in at the number 10 spot, the infamous Mississippi Wolfpack, representing Mississippi. These guys, all they do is coach 14U and put out a great product year in and year out. Detroit Buckeyes, would love to see them down at YNC. Very talented team. Buckeyes balling, representing Michigan. At the number 8 spot, I cannot wait to see these boys flying from Canada. Bike Club is in the house, eligible for a Division I invite. Coming in at number 7, year in and year out, talented, Vegas strong. They put a great product on the field every single year. At the number 6 spot, G's United, representing Ohio. Ohio's in the house on every age level this year, and I'm loving it, man. Love to see Ohio bringing that football back, that legacy back. Of course, defending YNC champion at the 13 and under, LA Rampage Twins, doing it big. Congratulations, just had a kid representing California. Can't wait to see them boys down here in the 305. 757 Colts, representing Virginia at the number 4 spot. And coming in at the number 3 spot, Maryland Heat, representing on a big level. At the number 2 spot, of course, OG Ducks, what can you say? Defending national champs the year before. And of course, the defending national champ, the OC Buckeyes, 2 top teams coming out of California between the OG Ducks, OC Buckeyes. These are the 2 top teams at the 14 under that you got to respect. And I will be remiss if I do not talk about our graphics partner when it comes to these rankings. Media Graphics, doing it big, making sure we bring you some motion graphics week in and week out. My man Curly representing out of Georgia, making sure that we can give you a dope production. So now let's talk about D2. D2, 14 and under, is going to be like JV football with these boys are so big playing. Of course, our top 5, let me just recap them for you once again. Pine Hill Trojans, Glassboro Trojans, Tampa Bay Ravens, Eastside Cowboys, and Rockledge Raiders. Now coming right out of that, got to say Silky Smooth, Silk City Elite out of New Jersey. Maryland Seahawks, of course, you know Coach. He's trying to get back in. You guys know Coach Jarvis for a long time, always bringing a quality product to the field. Polka Junior Blue Devils out of Florida, bringing it in. And a tough team with tough coaches, Opelika Hurricanes out of South Florida, out of deep Miami. And, of course, Pompano Eagles out of Florida representing. This is a team that I can feel if they win their championship should be D1 quality. They're that good. NC Dark Horses out of North Carolina holding it down. Soul City Flying Stars. I want to meet who made that the name for their team so they can just kind of name
right.
some sneakers or something for me too because, you know, they're creative. I'm going to come out since Yeezy is no longer available. I think I should come out with my own line, and I'm going to hire this Soul City Flying Stars dude to go ahead and name my new brand that's coming out. East Side Cowboys out of Michigan, St. Pete Little Devils out of Florida, and rounding out with a team that can make some noise in this Division II, Trade Man Elite out of Florida. Wraps up our Division II for 14 and under. And Clay, get the people some action, man. They want to see some invites on this D2.
Man, so listen, Jonah. 14U will be the only age level of we can't release a Division II invite just yet. They are coming.
Okay.
Reason being is, you know as well as I know, man, 14U sometimes is a really hard bracket to fill. We want to make sure we have the best 8 at the 14U level Division I before we start working on Division II. But mark my words, guys, we will be issuing out those Division II invites probably within the next 3 or 4 days. So it's coming.
Excellent, man. So Clay, kind of recap for our coaches that have received invites. They if they just heard themselves and then they haven't responded, give them the process once again of what they got to do to lock in.
So listen, guys, you will receive your official invitation by email. You have 48 hours from the day the email was sent to officially reply back to the email and state that you will be attending the Youth National Championship or you will be declining the invitation, whichever way you prefer. All right. If you don't respond within that 48 hours, then what happens is then we're going to roll over and invite someone else in your spot. Now, that doesn't mean you still can't be a part of it, but at that point, it becomes a first come, first serve race. All right. And then once you actually lock in with that email confirming your attendance, you have a certain amount of days that you've got to turn in documentation to solidify your team. You have a certain amount of days that you need to register and get all of that stuff situated along with uploading your team roster with the IDs into the Zort system, right? So it's a process, man. There's 10 attachments to the email. Every attachment is very valuable information, not only for the coaches and the team on, but also the parents. We've got, information where the hotels are so you guys can try to take advantage of the best rates. Again, unlike other people, we are not stay to play. You can stay wherever you want. You can stay in Airbnb, you can stay in a hotel. You can stay in your car if you want to. All we want is great football, but we do have some options out there for you to try to help, everybody
Not
from
the
having to
car,
search in
Clay.
different places. Hey, man. Hey, sometimes it's hard like that. So, so we all that information is in there along with media applications. Guys, if you want to be part of the media a team, a particular age level's media team, the application has to be filled out. It has to be submitted in the appropriate time. So that way,
Right.
Jonah can grab the applications. He can do the background checks or the research check. Make sure you guys are eligible to come on, and you will be providing a background check. Don't forget, coaches, when you upload in Zorts, there will be information about a background check sent out to you as well, too. We're going to monitor. We need to know exactly who was on the field to keep this event as safe as possible. Don't take it personal, man. Again, we are just doing what we need to do with our due diligence to keep the event as safe as possible for everyone involved. Now, so with that being said, guys, if you were named or if you received an invite tonight on the show, what I would probably do is either, if you got my cell phone number, shoot me a text message. If not, shoot me a message on Facebook. Send me your head coaches or you as the coach email address, your team and age level that you received that received the invite tonight, because I want to make sure that I get this to you guys as quickly as possible so you have ample amount of time for you and your family and your players and their families to plan to be a part of this great event. Cheer competition D1, football D1, football D2, man, it's going to be crazy down in Wellington, Florida. Oh, and in case you guys hadn't heard, we'll be right back at Trash Power for the national championships for Division 1 and Division 2. So you got to work your way to Miami. You may have gotten your invitation right now to Wellington, but to play in Miami, you got to be one of the top 2 teams in the country.
Like the few and the proud, like the Marines. So, Clay, I don't know if we have it in production where we have the schedule of what's going to be happening for D1. We won't even get into D2 just yet because we're a week closer to D1. But let's walk to that Monday through that Friday. Through that weekend. What happens each day, so they can kind of get a feel for it.
Let me pull that up right now. All right, guys. So for Division 1, all right. So when you land on Sunday, which is December 4th, be ready for early morning on Monday. On Monday is where we do the player certification and team check-in. Hard copy IDs must be present along with your online Zorts player cards. All right. This check-in will be at the Palm Beach County Convention Center. Check-in times for 6U is at 10 a.m., 7U 10:45 a.m., 8U is 11:30 a.m., 9U 12:15 p.m., 10U 1 p.m., 11U 1:45 p.m., 12U 2:30 p.m., 13U 3:15 p.m., 14U will be at 4 p.m. At 5 p.m., there will be a mandatory, I repeat, mandatory coaches meeting where we go over all the rules and regulations. We'll talk head so that way you guys can ask questions about rules. And then at that point, we will release the official bracket, and you'll know what time you play, and you'll know what field you play, and who your matchups is against. And then at 7 p.m., that's when we're going to have the Youth National Championship cheer competition, so everybody can get in there and cheer those young ladies on. And then once we're done with that, we get ready for the next day. Tuesday, opening day of games for all levels, which will be at Village Park Athletic Complex in Wellington, Florida. All right. Game times will range anywhere from 9 a.m. to the last game starting at 7:30 p.m. Same thing with the second day of all games. All age levels, Village Park Athletic Complex in Wellington, Florida. Game times from 9 a.m. all the way through 7:30 p.m. On Thursday, third day of games, all levels, Village Park Athletic Complex, Wellington, Florida. Times and field assignments will be announced. Of course, game times could start as early as 9 a.m. or start as late as 7:30 p.m. On Friday, we got something special for you guys. On Friday, we're going to go back to the Palm Beach County Convention Center. And the 2 teams that are playing for the national championship, we are going to have media day. So every single media outlet that's going to be at the YMC, part of the process of getting an approved application is you have to commit to have everybody media day along with Generation Next, and we're going to be and under the radar interviewing these coaches, interviewing these 2 teams as they match up head to head. Time starting from 11 a.m. all the way through 5 p.m. with the different age levels, 6U all the way through 14U. Then we're talking about championship Saturday and championship Sunday. Youth National Championship, 6U, 7U, 8U, and 9U championship games on Saturday, December 10th at Trash Pile Stadium in Miami, Florida. And then on Sunday, we're going to have the 10U, 11U, 12U, 13U, and 14U national championship games, Sunday, December 11th, Trash Pile Stadium in Miami, Florida. That's the rundown of the week, man. Hey, we're going to have a great time doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And D2 is going to look something similar to that just the following week. So that's going to be a layout for the national championships. Guys, keep your ears tuned and keep it still to your next to your emails. We are not finished giving out invites by a long shot. So just this is the time where we just keep evaluating. The rankings definitely count. Play some great football. Go out there, know that every down counts for you guys right now. And start prepping for your transportation and getting on down to South Florida. Any questions? Make sure you guys hit us up at info@youthchampionship.com or hit Clay up or inbox Clay myself doing Facebook. But man, you guys should be on cruise control right now and just let everything else kind of fall in place. And then we'll come back next week, because we usually do rankings every 2 weeks. But in this case, as we get close to the national championship, we'll be here weekly. And we'll be coming out with more of these rankings. And yeah, we'll talk about Clay. We'll talk about the rules. And so I see you responded to some of the questions you're getting real quick in regards to overtime.
So let me elaborate on that, Jonah. So the reason, and I don't expect anyone to understand, right? But the reason that we went with the particular overtime rule that we went with last year is because we had way more teams than we probably should have, but so many people wanted to be part of the YNC. There was some very competitive age levels where it made sense to bring in 10, maybe 12 teams in a bracket rather than cap it at 8. So due to that, and due to being at a venue where at a specific time the lights are going to cut off no matter what, we tried to cram more games in than we really should have. And that's why we had to go with that particular overtime process. Now, here's the beautiful thing about it. All teams were informed beforehand at the coaches' meeting. And the crazy thing about it is a lot of the coaches that complained about it were the main ones excited about it and talking noise about it, about what they were going to do to somebody else at that coaches' meeting. But what we've done this year, opened the YNC up, added a Division II. Now we don't have to load Division I up like that. We can cap it at 8 teams per age level. We can make sure all the games have the appropriate times. And most importantly, now the overtime rules can go and fall in unison with the rest of our YNC rules. It will be NCAA rules, including overtime. So, hey guys, if 2 teams lock up and they go to overtime, we're going to settle it like they settle it in college football.
Plain and simple. I love it. So that brings the end to that. Clay, guess what? We're not doing overtime tonight. We're about to shut it down. So, hey, thank y'all guys for tuning in. Of course, you got the rankings. We'll reduce them in writing for you in print. They'll be on all the platforms, so y'all can go ahead and do y'all bragging of what you have to do. But right now, bigger than bragging, it's your road to the YNC Championship. Of course, I'm Jonah Woolett. My partner in crime, as always, Clayton Guillory. AG in the background, Alfred holding it down on the 1s and 2s. Next week, same place, same time. You'll see us right here, Rankings Uncut.